Hi, and welcome to Recording Basics with Your Phone. We're going to talk about three things today. The first is lighting, the second is stability, and the third is framing. So let's get started. Okay, let's talk about light. Now, right now I'm in just a simple corridor in my home with only natural light coming in from the windows around me. But let's turn on the light switch. Right now I'm standing right below the lamp in the ceiling. Whew. Okay, so this is me standing right below the light, and you can see how the light is just kind of like falling on the top of my head, and it's kind of creating these like shadows under my face. This is me standing behind the light, so the light is up there, over there, and you can see that the light fills out a lot more of my face. You do get some more shadows down below, but the whole face is lit. Now I'm going to walk forward. Here I am directly under the light again, and here I am with the light behind me. Now you might think that, oh, the light behind gives a really nice kind of like soft effect, but what it does is it washes out the face. And the face is really what you want to be paying attention to when you make video. So everyone probably has this setup in their home with a light in the ceiling. Light will also bounce off of like white walls or kind of off-white walls, so it'll bounce back and kind of like hit you in the face and kind of wash you out. Not everybody can help that. Sometimes you can stop that effect by standing in front of something that is darker colored, like a darker wood or something with multicolors like paint, and that'll kind of like wash out the light so that you'll show up better as the subject of the camera. But you can do it. Ooh, that's me directly under again. And this is me behind the light with the light shining down on my face. So you can see the difference there, and we're going to try a different option with a light on a light stand. So hold on. Okay, I'm in a different area of the house now, and this is just like this is our library. And right now I'm just dealing with the natural light that's in the room. It's okay, but as you can probably tell, the image on my face is kind of like, it's almost like pixelated in a way. And that's because there's not enough light and the camera is compensating. So I'm going to turn on the light switch, and in this room I just have a lamp with a bare bulb because I was recording something earlier in here, but you'll see the difference that it makes. So here goes. You're going to get a blowout for a second. Whew. All right, so that's me with the lamp directly across the room from me. So I'm throwing shadows against the wall, as you can see, as is my rug cleaner over there. I didn't really think this through in terms of blocking. But you can see that the whole face is lit up. There are a couple of shadows just based on the way that my face, the way that my head is turned, or the way that I'm facing. But you get more of an even coverage for the face. So I'm going to walk into the room, and you're going to see, based on where my shadow is and based on where the light falls on my face, how the different position of the light bulb affects it. So this is probably about what would approximate what we usually see in the studio. Now we wouldn't have these books behind me. We'd probably have like green screen or something. And I am getting a little bit of light from this window here, so that's like a little bit of a fill light that's happening. And so watch my face when I let the curtain fall down. Well, there goes my fill light. Here's my fill light. And a fill light is really just like to kind of fill in the gaps on a person's face or on a subject. And what it does is kind of like gives it some drama in some cases, or it can, like I said, just kind of fill it out. So I'm going to slowly turn, and keep in mind that so bright, my light is right here. So now you can see the effect of the light being directly behind me. This is a look that you want to avoid, except for those really, really dramatic moments. I don't know why you would do this for like a standard video, but unless it were this case. But yeah, avoid the light behind you. So again, I'm just going to give you a turn, and see, that's probably like the nicest fall of light. And you are seeing some shadow. That shadow is actually my hand and my phone. And I decided to film this with my phone because most people are going to be using their phones right now. They won't have access to a camera. So yeah, that's basically indoor light. Modern smartphone cameras tend to be HD cameras, which are very forgiving of natural light. So far we've taken a look at indoor lighting, artificial lighting, but let's just head outside for a minute. So welcome to the outside. It's actually a pretty overcast day out today, and overcast works in your favor because the clouds diffuse the sunlight, and if there's too much sun, you end up with a situation like we saw with the artificial light indoors, where you're either washed out in the face or you get like a lot of like backlight and that you can't really compensate for easily without extra lighting. So this gives some nice vibrancy to all the colors because everything is kind of muted with the natural light. And yeah, that's the great thing about outdoor lighting and HD cameras. Let's head back inside. Okay, so we've talked about light, and I'm back inside and I'm just using some natural light from the window right now. I'm standing in front of the window, so the window is actually behind the camera, which is why I look a little washed out, but work with what we got. We've talked about lighting, now let's talk about stability. Right now I'm holding my phone and you can see that it's bouncing around a little bit. Live internet video has made us more accepting of the kind of shakiness that comes with a handheld camera, such as a phone. But when you're in a staged situation, such as your house, like if you're doing a promo video, if you're doing a little live stream or something, try to avoid holding the phone in your hands. You don't necessarily have to have a special tripod for it. Something as easy as a windowsill, as I'll show you right now, or a bookcase can help you out a lot. So I'm just going to set this down on my windowsill and then step away, step back into a wider shot. What you want to do is have the camera looking straight onto your face as much as possible. And that's something that we'll get into in the next part, which is framing. And we're back. Ah, shit. I'm in portrait mode. Now my phone is in the same place it was before. It's on the windowsill. And I'm really short, so you've got all this headroom here, as you can see. But even if I go and stand up on the couch, still you're limiting the amount of area in which you can tell your story or show yourself. Plus I'm out of my light. Recording in portrait mode isn't necessarily a bad thing, but what it does is it really limits the scope of what you can show, especially since video programs like YouTube or Vimeo are built around the 16:9 aspect ratio, which is landscape mode. So hold on a second, I'm going to switch over to landscape mode. And we're back again. Now see how much more space you have to tell your story. And if you want to do something like a close-up, it allows the editor to cut off the sides or cut off the top and bottom and still keep the basic shape of the presentation, which is your recording. As opposed to portrait mode, where things need to fill in the blanks. You see those like big black lines on the side of a portrait mode recording. And the editor can fill that in with stuff, you know, like a Gaussian blur background or something, but it's not conducive for the 16:9 aspect ratio or even the 4:3 aspect ratio that we're used to seeing on a traditional TV or video screen. So if nothing else, if you can't play with lights, if you don't have a windowsill or you don't have a bookcase or something to set your phone on, if nothing else, and you want to record something for sharing on like a YouTube, please try to remember to record in landscape mode. It's just going to give you a lot more options. It's going to give you, more range and more depth of field. It's really going to help your editors out a lot. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I made it short enough. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.